move this over here so I can see it a little bit better. よく見えるかなみんな Everyone can hear it okay. We'll see it okay. Yes, we're gonna be reading different Wikipedia articles, yes. Is there any triggers we should do in the meantime? Like while I'm reading? Or would you just like it to be like just me reading and like alternating ears? I can do either or. But I thought maybe like mimi cookie kana? Oil massage kana? どっちでもいい。やっぱオイルマッサージがあまりできないけどあとどうでもいい。本当に久しぶりのASMR出たからちょっと怖いじゃあ耳かきと読んでいきます。耳ポンテンを持ってってはいじゃあ行ってきます。 We'll start with the page for teddy bear. Did you expect this one? Did you see this one coming? Did you see it coming? A teddy bear is a stuffed toy in the form of a bear, developed apparently simultaneously by toy makers Morris Mitchum in the US and Richard Steiff under his aunt Margaret Steiff's company in Germany in the early 20th century. The teddy bear, named after President Theodore Roosevelt, became a popular children's toy and has been celebrated in song, story, and film. Since the creation of teddy bears, which sought to imitate the form of real bear cubs, teddies have widely varied in form, style, color, and material, like me. I'm a teddy bear. They have become collector's items, with older and rarer teddies appearing at public auctions. Teddy bears are among the most popular gifts for children, and they are often given to adults to signify affection, congratulations, or sympathy. On the little side it says, bear thought to be made by Morris Mitchum in the early 1900s, donated to the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History by Theodore Roosevelt's grandson, Kermit Roosevelt. That's an unfortunate name. A replica Steiff model, 55PB, displayed in the Steiff Museum, Geigen, Germany, 2006. No original examples of the 55PB are known to survive. That's so sad. I think Steiff teddy bears are still like that company still makes teddy bears, I think. I remember in my old hometown, for some reason they had like a teddy bear exhibition at one of like the old people malls, you know, like malls that like grandma shop at, and they had Steiff teddy bears. They were really articulate, and the guy who was manning the shop let me hug them, even though he probably realized that I was not in the market for a designer teddy bear. Did you say designer? Collector? I'm not sure, because it was like $300. I was like, holy shit, don't let me drop this, but it was really cute. I would own one if I could, if I ever found one, like in the store. That wasn't $300. The name teddy bear comes from former United States President Theodore Roosevelt, who is often referred to as Teddy, a nickname which he loathed. I like that. They added that. I didn't know that he didn't like it. The name originated from an incident on a bear hunting trip in Mississippi in November 1902, to which Roosevelt was invited by Mississippi Governor Andrew H. Longino. There were several other hunters competing, and most of them had already killed an animal. A suite of Roosevelt's attendants, led by Holt Collier, cornered, clubbed, and tied an American black bear to a willow tree after a long, exhausting chase with hounds. They called Roosevelt to the site and suggested that he shoot it. Roosevelt not to shoot the bear while he was tied. Roosevelt refused to shoot the bear himself, deeming this unsportsmanlike, but instructed that the bear be killed to be put out of its misery. And it became the topic of a political cartoon by Clifford Berryman in the Washington Post on November 16, 1902. While the initial cartoon of an adult black bear lassoed with a handler and a disgusted Roosevelt had symbolic overtones, later issues of that and other Berryman cartoons made the bear smaller and cuter. You can see a 1902 political cartoon in the Washington Post spawn the teddy bear name. Wonder if we can get a better look at it. Oh, it looks a little stupid. That doesn't look like any bear I've ever seen before. I would not recognize that as a bear. I didn't say it was a cub, but I guess that's the angle they're going for. Morris Mitchum saw the Berryman drawing of Roosevelt and was inspired to create the teddy bear. He created a tiny, soft bear cub and put it in his candy shop window at 404 Tompkins Avenue in Brooklyn, with a sign, Teddy's Bear. The toys were an immediate success, and Mitchum founded the Ideal Novelty and Toy Co. A little earlier in 1902 in Germany, the Steiff firm produced a stuffed bear from Richard Steiff's designs. Steiff exhibited the toy at the Leipzig Toy Fair in 1903, where it was seen by Hermann Berg, a buyer for George Borfelt and Company in New York, and the brother of the composer, Alan Berg. Oh, sorry if you hear the loud car going by. It is Heine. He ordered 3,000 to be sent to the United States. Although Steiff's records show that the bears were produced, they were not recorded arriving in the US, and no example of the type 55 pp has ever been seen, leading to the stories that the bears were shipwrecked. We need to go save them. Wait, stop relaxing. We need to get up and go find them. They could just be sitting at the bottom of the ocean all sad, being picked out by fish. That breaks my heart. That actually makes me sad. That makes me sad. We got to save them. However, the shipwreck story is disputed. Oh, okay. You can go back to it. Relaxing. It's Bear Atlantis. Do you think they founded a teddy bear society? This could be like a Midu. Oh, I'm sorry. This could be like a Midu origin story. This is my secret backstory. We founded Bear Atlantis after the 55B was shipwrecked. And the reason why no one's ever seen a real 55 BB is because we integrated so well into society. Is that a little bit too obscure? I don't know. The shipwreck story is disputed. Author Gunther Pfeffer notes that it was only recorded in 1953 and says it is more than likely that the 55 pp was not sufficiently durable to survive until the present day. Although Steiff and Mitchum were both creating teddy bears at around the same time, neither would have known of the other's creation due to the poor transatlantic communication. Isn't that kind of fascinating? You can have two people doing the same thing at the same time, and they just had no idea. How weird is it they both came up with it at the same time? Isn't that a weird coincidence, if I do say so myself? North American educator Seymour Eaton wrote the children's book series The Roosevelt Bears, while composer John Walter Bratton wrote an instrumental The Teddy Bear's Picnic, a characteristic two-step, in 1907, which later had words written to it by lyricist Jimmy Kennedy. Early teddy bears were made to look like real bears, with extended snouts and beady eyes. Modern teddy bears tend to have larger heads and foreheads and smaller noses, which are baby-like features intended to enhance the toy's cuteness. Some teddy bears are also designed to represent different species, such as polar bears. so amazing that like I just watch the videos in awe, or like the resulting product. It's hard to believe that something so beautiful could be made by hand, you know? It's truly an artisan craft. There's one teddy bear, or artisanal teddy bear company that I really like called, I think it's called Charlie's Bears. They have like a wide variety. It's not just teddy bears, they have like different animals too. And they always have like seasonal collections and stuff, and it's definitely like an old person collectible. But I don't know, if I was an old lady, my old lady collectible would be weird teddy bears, I think. Or like niche designer teddy bears that cost like $400. Screw my grandkids or whatever, they're not getting shit for Christmas. Grandma needs a new teddy bear. Teddy bears are a favorite form of soft toy for amateur toy makers, with many patterns commercially produced or available online. Many teddies are homemade gifts or gifts for charity, while teddy bear artists often create teddies for retail, decorating them individually with commercial and recycled ornaments such as sequins, beads, and ribbons. Some teddy bears are made from a range of materials including felt, cotton, and velour, while many are stitched. Others are made from yarn, either knitted or crocheted. I should crochet a teddy bear then. That's a good idea. Cultural impact. Retail sales of plushed animals, including teddy bears, totaled 1.3 billion in 2006, with manufacturers including Gund and TY. That's the people who make Beanie Babies, but I never know if it's Ty or TY. Plush bear toys have enjoyed ongoing popularity, complete with specialty realtors such as Teddy Atelier, Stursburg, and Vermont Teddy Bear Company, as well as do-it-yourself chains, including Build-A-Bear Workshop. I wish there was a Build-A-Bear Workshop where my parents live. I want to go to Build-A-Bear so bad. It's so weird to me that Build-A-Bear is not really a thing in Japan, because I feel like people really like it. It's just like a novel idea. Can we have at least one Build-A-Bear? Like, as a treat. As a treat. When I was looking into it, I think there was at least one Build-A-Bear that existed at one point in time, but I don't know. I guess it closed for one reason or another. I can't imagine why. Do the people of Japan not yearn to build their own bears? I don't know. Museum. The world's first teddy bear museum was set up in Petersville, Hampshire, England, 1984. In 1990, a similar foundation was set up in Naples, Florida, United States. These were closed in 2006 and 2005, respectively. And the bears were sold at auctions, but there are many teddy bear museums around the world today. What about the advent of the new century killed off the teddy bear museum? And what can we do to bring it back? These are questions we must ask ourselves. Emergency services. Because police, fire, and medical officers found that giving teddy bear to a child during a crisis stabilized and calmed them, NAPLC created the Teddy Bear Cops program to distribute teddy bears to police, fire, and medical responders throughout the United States. That's so cute. On April Fool's Day 1972, issue 90 of the Veterinary Record published a paper on the diseases of Prunus edwardi, detailing common afflictions of teddy bears. was chose because of Taft's love for possum and taters as a symbol of Southern pride. Toy companies making them advertise them using slogans predicting the end of teddy bear popularity. Ha! Those around Taft theorize he would be remembered in a similar way as Roosevelt with the popular toy. However, the Billy Blossom plush didn't achieve the same level of a popularity or enduring legacy, and the toys in production and impact were minimal in comparison. Ha! You can't beat the bear. Let's see. In popular culture, the original toy inspired John Walter Bratton to compose the melody to Teddy Bear's Picnic in 1907 with lyrics by Jimmy Kennedy added in 1932. Rupert Bear comic has appeared in Daily Express since November 1920. Winnie the Pooh is based off of a child teddy bear owned by Christopher Robin Milne, a son of A.A. Milne. The character first appeared in a 1926 children's book and has been adapted by Disney for animated shorts since 1966. Sooty began broadcasting on British television in 1955. What's that? I don't know what that is. Let Me Be Your Teddy Bear was a #1 hit for Elvis Presley in 1957. Paddington Bear is based off a teddy bear purchased by the British author Michael Bond, first appearing in a 1958 children's book. Corduroy is a 1968 children's book based on an anthropomorphic teddy bear in a department store. Super Ted is a superhero teddy bear in an animated television series first airing in 1982. Care Bears were first produced as colorful plush teddy bears in 1983. Butsy Bear, I've never heard of that one, has been the mascot for children in need since 1985. Teddy Ruxpin was a best-selling toy of 1985 and 1986. Teddy is a knitted oddity in a 1990 sitcom Mr. Bean. Misery Bear was featured in a series of 14 shots for the BBC website between 2009 and 2012. Why is he so sad? Naughty Bear 2010 and its 2012 sequel Naughty Bear, Panic in Paradise are video games created based off an anthropomorphic teddy bear who seeks revenge on the other bears that ostracized him. Should we play this on stream? Ted bases its adult comedy on a teddy bear come to life. Teddy 2021 is a Tamil language fantasy action film. Imaginary is a 2024 film produced by Blumhouse Productions and directed by Jeff Ladlow. The movie revolves around a supernatural teddy bear that befriends a child. And now are the references, but you probably don't want me to read out all the references, so that's okay. I want to read this April Fool's gag for the common afflictions of teddy bears. We're gonna read this. April 1st, 1972 issue of the Veterinary Record, the weekly journal of the British veterinary profession, contained an article about the diseases of Brunus edwardi, which was described as a species commonly kept in homes in the United Kingdom and other countries in Europe and North America. The article warned, pet ownership surveys have shown that 63.8% of households are inhabited by one or more of these animals, and there is a statistically significant relationship between their population and the number of children in a household. The public health implications of this fact are obvious, and it is imperative that more be known about their diseases, particularly zoonoses or other conditions that may be associated with close contact to man. Thank you for the follow and Nokia's talk. Thank you. For months afterwards, the correspondence section of the Veterinary Record was dominated by letters about Brunus edwardi, most of which offered new observations about the species. However, few correspondents were outraged by the article, such as A. Noel Smith, who wrote how 3 members holding sets of impressive degrees can waste their time writing about such garbage in a journal that is the official publication of the BVA is beyond my comprehension and is an effrontery to publish it under clinical papers. Someone didn't get the joke. But it was reported in the British Library after, and had difficulty deciding on how to classify the article, but the article proved so popular res picture, but you can just see his silly little face. I don't know why that one's funny to me. Oh, wait. What about this one? Emotionally disturbed teddy bear. That's me. That's me. That's me. They wrote about me. I wish they had the actual papers. I would like to read them. Museum of Hoaxes. Doesn't seem like they have the actual papers, but I kind of like this though. It's still really cute. Can we go back to the April Fool's Day? Maybe the other. Ah, here we go. It's actually published. It's actually a published paper. I love this. See if we can find a record of this. Pretty please, pretty please. Finally some good fucking science. I know, right? No, there's no page for it. What was the name of it? Of the exact... Oh, there's the DOI. Maybe we can try that. No. Hold on, let me find it in the references. I'll see if I can... I want this archive from the original. Nope. Inactive. Oh. It's lost media. It's lost media, chat. It's Wikipedia lost. Oh wait, never mind, I found it. Can we read it? Display options. Can I see it? I don't think we can watch it. It's lost media. It's on PubMed, but there's nothing here. No abstract available. This is sad. No, this is so sad. I want to read it so bad. There's gotta be one of these that are open. View on BMJ. Nope, that's the same one we already looked at. Six citations. I love that people actually cited this for like literary research. Oh, that's sad. I found it on Sci-Hub. Could you send it in the Discord for me? I want to read it. I just want to read it for my own joy at this point. I just copy the deal. We gotta see this. Let me see if I can find it. Sakashitemi. Doesn't look like it is. So British Veterinary Association has many non-territorial divisions, and it would have been logical to assume that either the British Small Animal Veterinary Association or the British Veterinary Zoological Society would have shown an interest in the species. It is unfortunate that apparently none of the officers of these associations had either the mentality or the foresight of present authors to instigate a study similar to that published on this paper. Pet ownership surveys have shown that 63.8% of households are inhabited by one or more of these animals, and there is a statistically significant relationship between their population and the number of children in a household. Public health implications of this fact are obvious, and it is imperative that more be known about their diseases, particularly zoonoses or other conditions which may be associated with their close contact with man. The results of this survey may also be relevant to the recent rabies order, 1971, and could necessitate possible changes in the quarantine regulations. The importance of avoiding the use of colloquial names and scientific contributions have been stressed by Kiemer et al. 1969, but the previous publications have apparently only used the term teddy bear. Preliminary studies have suggested this term might include several different strains, if not species. However, it was found that teddy bears will accept continuous and even limb grafts from other bears without showing any signs of rejection. These findings obviously indicate that all teddy bears are genetically homozygous and the same species. We therefore consider the correct generic specific terminology to be Brunus edwardi. was a result of ruptured acoustic membrane and resulted in the renewal, and a complete renewal of the voice box was necessary. This involved a laparotomy, removal of the damaged organ from its surrounding fasciata, and careful positioning of the replacement so that the acoustic membrane faced ventrally to prevent the development of muffled speech. Case 2. A young bear owned by a child of 6 months was found to be suffering from soggy ear, in quotes, when removed from the owner's cot one morning. Oedema of the pinna was commonly recurring condition with the bear belonging to children under 18 months who slept with an ear firmly clamped in their own mouths. That's cute, they're teething. Treatment consisted of removal from the owner, lavage, and drying and in an airing cupboard. I'd zoom in, it's a tad tricky to read some of the... There we go, that's so much better. A 10-year-old bear, which had been owned successively by 3 siblings. The normal yellow coat color had changed to a dirty gray, and there was extensive alopecia which had progressed to threadbareness over the ears, nose, and limb extremities. The axillary and inguinal seams were weak, resulting in intermittent dislocation of the limbs, but there was no herniation of stuffing. Old age and persistent handling with the transport by one limb were the main reasons for this chronic debility, for which there is no satisfactory treatment. No. No. Discussion. This survey has revealed many facts of interest, both the comparative pathologist and the clinician, and it is considerable relief that it can be recorded that Brunus edwardi appears to be resistant to any pathological organisms and cannot, therefore, be affected by any zoonotic condition. However, the species can be involved in a variety of commensal relationships. I'm sorry if you hear my neighbor fucking flinging shit around. As illustrated by case number 6, future investigations using no-botaiodic techniques might provide further fascinating information on such associations. Teddy bears can act as transitionary mechanical vectors of human pathogens. Although superficial contamination with rubella virus has no direct effect on the bear, the unskilled treatment of the carrier teddies can result in serious secondary bears are the same volume, right? Lactobacillus acidophilus, which was obviously an opportunistic invader of the contaminated coat. There was no evidence of digestive disturbance. The owner was encouraged to treat her animal herself by washing it thoroughly. A 16-year-old bear with an asymmetrical expression and obvious emotional disturbance found at the back of a cupboard. After the removal of superficial dust, the coat condition was seen to be good, but the animal had a permanent squint due to the careless placement of the right eye with the shoe button. This one right here. I love him though. I love his squint. He's so loved. The animal had permanent squint due to the careless placement of blah blah blah. Tracing of the case history revealed that this bear had suffered recurrent unilateral ocular prolapse, which resulted so you're saying the eye fell out, which had progressed to total rupture of the filamentous orbital detachments, aka they pulled on the eye and it fell out, and loss of the eye. It was hoped that a new owner might be fond of this animal, and that it was matched with and that with a newly matched pair of eyes, his expression and psychological state may improve. Don't give your teddy bears mismatched eyes. Good to know. An aged, cobweb-covered bear found in an attic. Its general condition was poor, with loss of a forelimb and herniation of stuffing. The frontal stem was ruptured, exposing a rusted voice box and helical weakness. The animal was heavily infested with commensals, which included a pair of musculus, 2 generations young, and a total of 23 individuals. It had mice in it. Specimens of the Lepus, Hilaris, Leptocilla cygnus, Nosolocillus fasciatus, and Lepsoma saccharina were found in the right inguinal region. At the border of the left pinna was being eroded by clove moths. Treatment of this case included a vigorous shaking and dusting with pytharum, a stuffing transfusion, and a forelimb graft. Aww. He's fixed though. They're happy teddies. They're happy teddies, except for him, I don't know. Remember, an unloved teddy bear is an unhappy teddy bear. Okay? Wasirinayo. Alright, that's enough teddy bears. Should we move on to our next Wikipedia article? We're moving from teddy bears to bear bears. Bear bears. Bears are carnivorian mammals of the family Ursidae. They are classified as caniforms, or dog-like carnivorians. That's interesting. Although only 80 species of bears are extant, they are widespread, appearing in a variety of habitats throughout the most of the northern hemisphere, and partially in the southern hemisphere. Bears are found on the continents of North America, South America, and Eurasia. Common characteristics of modern bears include large bodies, stocky legs, long snouts, small rounded ears, shaggy hair, plantigrade paws with 5 non-retractable claws, and short tails. While the polar bear is mostly carnivorous, then the giant panda is mostly herbivorous. I don't know if those words are pronounced. The remaining 6 species are omnivorous with varying diets. With the exception of courting individuals and mothers of their young, bears are typically solitary animals. They may be diurnal or nocturnal and have excellent sense of smell. Despite their heavy build and awkward gait, they are adept runners, climbers, and swimmers. Bears use shelters such as caves and logs as their den. Most species occupy their den during the winter for a long period of hibernation, up to 100 days. Bears have been hunted since prehistoric times for their meat and fur. They have also been used for bear baiting and other forms of entertainment, such as being made to dance and stream. With their powerful physical presence, they play a prominent role in the arts and mythology and other cultural aspects of various human societies. suggests that instead bear is from the Proto-Indo-European word guer, wild animal. This terminology for the animal originated as a taboo avoidance term. What is that taboo? What phenomena restricted speech style must be used in the present? References certain relatives or situations. Oh. Proto-Germanic tribes replaced the original word for bear, arcto, with this euphemistic expression out of fear that speaking the animal's true name might cause it to appear. Cow. According to author Ralph Keyes, this is the oldest known euphemism. Bear taxon names such as Arctoidea and Arctis come from the major Greek Arctus, meaning bear, as do the names Arctic and Antarctic via the name of the constellation Ursa Major, the Great Bear, prominent in the northern sky. Bear taxon names such as Ursidae or Ursus come from Latin Ursus, such Ursa, he-bear, so she-bear. The female name Ursula, originally derived from a Christian saint's name, means little she-bear. That's kind of cute. In Switzerland, the male first name Urs is especially popular, while the name of the canton and city of Bern is by legend derived from Bar. German for bear. Bar. It's fun to say. The Germanic name Bernard, including Bernhard and other similar forms, mean bear brave, bear hardy, or bold bear. The English name Beowulf is a kenning, bee-wolf for bear, and in turn means a brave warrior. Beowulf is a cool fucking name. The family Ursidae is one of 9 families in the suborder Caniformia, or dog-like carnivorians within the order Carnivoria. Bears' closest living relatives are the pinnipeds, canids, and musteloids. What are those? Those are like otters and stuff, right? Yeah. They're like stoutish animals. Some scholars formally argued that bears are directly derived from canids and should not be classified as a separate family. Some modern bears comprise 8 species in 3 subfamilies. Ailuroponidae, monotypic with the giant panda. Tremarcintinae, monotypic with spectacled bear. What's a spectacled bear? They look silly. And Ursinae, containing 6 species divided into 1-3 genera depending on the authority. Nuclear chromosome analysis shows that the karyotype of the 6 ursine bears is nearly identical, each having 74 chromosomes, whereas the giant panda has 42. That's because they're stupider. They have less chromosomes because they're dumber and weaker and lazier and uselesser. With the spectacled bear having 52. These smaller numbers can be explained by the fusing of some chromosomes, and the banding pattern on these match those of the ursine species but differ from those of Procynonids, which supports the inclusion of these 2 species as Ursidae rather than Procynonidae, which they had been placed by some earlier authorities. Well, of course they're bears, they look like bears. That makes sense. What if pandas weren't bears? They are just worse and dumber. They already are. What am I kidding? Evolution. The earliest members of the Ursidae belong to the extinct subfamily Amphicynodontinae, including Parasitus, the late Eocene to early Miocene. Okay. Period. A slightly younger Alocene, today's bear species Ursivus elmensis. Based on genetic and morphological data, the Ailuropodinae pandas were the first to diverge from the other living bears about 19 mia, although no fossils of this group have been found before 11 mia. They came first because they're dumber. The New World short-faced bears differentiated from Ursinae following a dispersal event into North America during the mid-Miocene. They invaded South America following the formation of Isthmus of Panama. The earliest fossil representative is the Pleonarctos in North America. This genus is probably a direct ancestor to the North American short-faced bears, the South American short-faced bears, and the spectacled bears, represented by both an extinct North American species and the lone surviving representative of Trimmers Arctinae in South America, the spectacled bear. The subfamily Ursinae experienced a dramatic proliferation of taxa. Coincident with major environmental changes, the first member of the genus Ursus appeared around this time. The sloth bear is a modern survival of one of the earliest lineages to diverge during this radiation event. It took on peculiar morphology related to its diet of termites and ants, no later than the early Pleistocene. The species Ursus minus appears in the fossil record of Europe, apart from its size. It was nearly identical to today's Asian black bear. It is likely ancestral to all bears within Ursinae, perhaps aside from the sloth bear. Two lineages evolved from U. minimus, the black bears, including the sun bears and Asian black bear, and the American black bear, and brown bears, which includes the polar bear. Modern brown bears evolved from U. minimus via Ursus etruscus, which itself is ancestral to the Pleistocene cave bear. Species of Ursinae have migrated repeatedly into North America from Eurasia as early as Formia during the early Pliocene. Polar bear itself is recently evolved species and descended from a population of brown bears that became isolated in northern latitudes by glaciation 400,000 years ago. Have you guys seen like the giant sloth? No, the sloth bear is different. But have you guys seen like the giant sloth? Those things scare the shit out of me. I'm glad they're gone. And they have like a family tree and stuff, but it's hard to read out that, I think. I think they were Ice Age creatures because they were so big. Like massive sloth or whatever. It's like a sloth but the size, but like triple the size. The mega sloth, yeah. They're scary as shit. God, Reddits, don't bring it back. I'll get scared. Maybe it's just because we only have skeletons. They'd be looking a lot stupider in person. But I reckon anything of that size, no matter how goofy it looks, would be kind of terrifying to come up against. Physical characteristics. Size. The bear family includes the most massive extant terrestrial members of the order Carnivora. The polar bear is considered to be the largest extant species, with adult males weighing 350 to 700 kilograms and measuring 2.4 to 3 meters in total length. I'm not going to read it in America units. It's a lot of hamburgers, that's all you need to know, okay? The smallest species is the sun bear, which ranges from 25 to 65 kilograms in weight and 100 to 140 centimeters. Do you guys remember, I don't know how popular it became overseas, but there was this like meme in China, a Chinese zoo, like someone caught a video of a sun bear and they were like, this is just a human in a suit, this isn't a real animal. So people like flooded into the Chinese zoo, I think it was like the Beijing zoo, to see if it was a guy in a suit or a real bear, and the zoo was like swearing up and down. They're like, guys, it's a real bear. It's not a human in a suit. And they had to like plead with people not to throw rocks and shit at the bear. Because everyone was collectively convinced that the bear was somehow just a human in a suit. You know, I think it would cost more to keep a human in a suit, like at a zoo full time, like 8 to 9 shift, like paying that salary is always voted on. What is this year's fattest bear? I wonder. I want to see who won this year. I kind of forgot to vote. Let's see. Oh, 32 chunk. Oh, and then look at this. We get this before. Wait. Holy shit, he's fat. He's so fat. Look how fat he got. He looks pregnant. 32 chunk is a large adult mare with narrowly set eyes, a prominent brow ridge, and a distinctive scar across his muzzle. Even at as lean as 32, carries substantial fat reserves. Wow, they're just calling him a fat ass. That's so mean. Grazer. Oh my goodness. Grazer, you fatty. This big back ass bear. This bear is fat. What a guy. I know, right? There we go. She's one of the best anglers. Okay. He's gotta be the winner. He's so fat. They are very fat. Who's this one? 151 Walker. I don't think he had quite as much of a glow up as 32 Chunk or Grazer did. I think Grazer should win this one. That's my opinion. He got way, way fat. Although maybe just like the wet fur makes it harder to see how fat he's gotten. He looks like he's like missing patches of fur in this picture. It looks like he's grown them back though, that's good. There's 164. It's hard to say. 164 is not that fat. I'm sorry, 164, I love you, but you're not that fat. 504. Isn't 504 Mama? Yeah, she is. Which one's the before and after? We can't tell. We can't tell, girl. You need more. 519. I think this might be one of her cubs. No, I'm not feeling it. 747 often wins, I think. Look at that grizzled face he has. Oh my goodness. Oh, he got pretty fat. That's a pretty fat bear. 856. Oh my goodness. The belly reveal is crazy on 856. Oh my god. That belly reveal is insane. That was good placement. That's like shocking. They need to line the photos up like that. I think they do the rest of the bears a disservice by like not lining them up like that. I can already tell he's a Damn, 901. You can already tell he's a bit of a fatty. His belly's hitting the water, you're right. He's so fat, his belly hit the water. 903, oh my goodness. No, he fattened up. They look kind of like scrunkly. When they just get the picture, they get the first picture of them. He's like, man, I slept way too long. And this one's like, man, I want to go back to sleep. 909. Fatty. He's pretty fat. That is a fat bear. 909 Junior. Oh my god. That's not a very flattering picture if we're going for like how fat is he, but look at the way he's looking at the camera. He has such a kind face to him. He looks so nice. Okay, who won this year? I wanna see. Do I get to see? Oh, Fat Bear Week. Good showing. I know. Grazer won! I knew it. I called it. I knew it. 32 Chunk was a good runner-up, though. Wait. That was the wrong. Okay, I guess I closed the other tab. 32 Chunk had a good showing, but that... Yeah, no, Grazer definitely earned that, I think. also do like Junior Fat Bear Week. Oh yeah, there's Fat Bear Junior. Yeah. I love it so much. Yippee. Was Grazer? Wait, this article right here says Grazer's the third female winner of Fat Bear Week. We love some representation. She's truly doing all of us girl bears proud. Thank you, Grazer. Thank you for your service. Let's see. Morphology. Bears are generally bulky and robust animals with short tails. They're sexually dimorphic with regards to size, but males typically being larger. Larger species tend to show increased levels of sexual dimorphism in comparison to smaller species. Relying as they do on their strength rather than speed, bears have relatively short limbs and thick bones to support their bulk. The shoulder blades and pelvis are correspondingly massive. The limbs are much straighter than those of the big cats, as there is no need for them to flex in the same way due to the differences in their gait. Strong forelimbs are used to catch prey, excavate dens, dig out burrowing animals, turn over rocks and logs to locate prey, and club large creatures. Unlike most other land carnivorans, bears are plantigrade. They distribute their weight toward the hind feet, which make them look lumbering when they walk. I do that too. They are capable of bursts of speed, but soon tire. Me too. And as a result, rely mostly on ambush rather than the chase. Bears can stand on their hind feet and sit up straight with remarkable balance. Their front paws are flexible enough to grasp fruit and leaves. Bears' non-retractable claws are used for digging, climbing, tearing, and catching prey. The claws on the front feet are larger than those on the back and may be a hindrance when climbing trees. Black bears are the most arboreal of the bears and have the shortest claws. Pandas are unique for having bony extensions on the wrist of the front feet, which act as a thumb, and is used for gripping bamboo shoots as the animals feed. Most animals have a goatee hair, with each individual fur shaft having bands of color corresponding to two different types of melanin pigment. Bears, however, have a single type of melanin, and the hairs have a single color throughout their length, apart from the tip, which is sometimes a different shade. The coat consists of long guard hairs, which perform this protective shaggy coating, and short, dense hairs, which form an insulating layer trapping air close to the skin, so it's very warm. The shaggy coat helps maintain body heat during winter hibernation and is shed in the spring, leaving a shorter summer coat. Polar bears have hollow, translucent guard hairs which gain heat from the sun and conduct it to the dark-colored skin below. They have a thick layer of blubber for extra insulation, and the soles of their feet have dense pad fur. While bears tend to be uniform in color, some species may have markings on the chest or face, and the giant panda has a bold black and white pelage. Bears have smaller, rounded ears as to minimize heat loss, but neither their hearing or their sight are particularly acute. Aww. Unlike many other carnivorans, they have color vision, perhaps to help them distinguish ripe fruits and nuts. They are unique among carnivorans in not having touch-sensitive whiskers on the muzzle. However, they have an excellent sense of smell and are better than that of the dog or possibly any other mammal. They use smell for signaling to each other, either to warn off rivals or to detect mates, and for finding food. Smell is the principal sense used by bears to locate most of their food, and they have excellent memories, which helps them to relocate places where they have found food before. See, I do that too. Which kind of bear is your favorite? I like Kodiak bears, if that counts, because they're so big. I want to hug one. I saw this one YouTube video where this guy owned a ranch of Kodiak bears, and people either kept as pets illegally or were hurt and couldn't be reintroduced to the wild, and the guy would just play with them like big dogs. It's probably not the best idea to keep bears as big dogs, but I would do it. That's how I will go down. Skulls of bears are massive, providing anchorage for the powerful masseter and temporal jaw muscles. The canine teeth are large but mostly used for display, and the molar teeth flat and crushing. Unlike most other members of the carnivora, bears have a relatively undeveloped carnasal teeth, and their teeth are adapted for a diet that includes a significant amount of vegetable matter. Considerable variation occurs in dental formula even within The structure of the larynx of bears appears to be the most basal of caniforms. They possess air pouches connected to the pharynx, which may amplify their vocalizations. Bears have a fairly simple digestive system, typical for carnivorans, with a single stomach, short, undifferentiated intestines, and no cecum. Even the herbivorous giant panda still has the digestive system of a carnivore, as well as carnivore-specific genes. Its ability to digest cellulose is ascribed to the microbes in its gut. Bears must spend much of their time feeding in order to gain enough nutrition from foliage. The panda in particular spends 12 to 15 hours a day feeding fat ass. Fat ass. Distribution and habitat. Extant bears are found in 60 countries, primarily in the northern hemisphere, as are concentrated in Asia, North America, and Europe. An exception is the spectacled bear native to South America. It inhabits the Andean region. The sun bear's range extends below the equator in Southeast Asia. The Atlas bear, a subspecies of the brown bear, was distributed in North Africa by Morocco to Libya, but became extinct around the 1870s. Oh, poor Atlas bear. The most widespread species is the brown bear, which occurs from Western Europe eastwards through North Asia to the western areas of North America. The American black bear is restricted to North America, and the polar bear is restricted to the Arctic Ocean. All of the remaining species of bear are Asian. They occur in a range of habitats which include tropical lowland forest, both coniferous and broadleaf forests, prairies, steppes, montane grasslands, alpine scree slopes, Arctic tundra, and, in the case of polar bears, ice flows. Bears may dig their dens in hillsides or use caves, hollow logs, and dense vegetation for shelter. My neighbor's talking really loud. I hope you guys can't hear. I'll try and distract. Brown and black bears are generally diurnal, meaning that they are active for the most part during the day, though they may forage substantially by night. Other species may be nocturnal, active at night, though female sloth bears with cubs may feed more at daytime to avoid competition from conspecifics and nocturnal predators. Bears are overwhelmingly solitary and considered to be the most asocial of all carnivora. The only times bears are encountered in groups are mothers with young or occasional scenes little bounties of rich food such as salmon runs. Like Splatoon. Fights between males can occur, and older individuals may have extensive scarring, which suggests that maintaining dominance can be intense. With their acute sense of smell, bears can locate carcasses from several kilometers away. They use olfaction to locate other foods, encounter mates, avoid rituals, and recognize their cubs. Feeding. Most bears are opportunistic carnivores and consume more plant than animal matter, and appear to have evolved from an ancestor which was a low-protein macronutrient omnivore. They eat anything from leaves, roots, berries, to insects, carrion, fresh meat, and fish, and have digestive systems and teeth adapted to such a diet. At the extremes are the almost entirely herbivorous giant panda and the mostly carnivorous polar bear. However, all bears feed on any source of food that becomes seasonally available. For example, Asiatic black bears in Taiwan consume a large number of acorns when these are most common, and switch to ungulates at other times of year. When foraging for plants, bears choose to eat them at the stage when they are most nutritious and digestible, typically avoiding older grasses, sedges, and leaves. Hence, in more northern temperate areas, browsing and grazing is more common early in spring and later becomes more restricted. Knowing when plants are ripe for eating is a learned behavior. Berries may be foraged in bushes or at the top of trees, and bears try to maximize the number of berries consumed versus foliage. In autumn, some bear species forage large amounts of naturally fermented fruits, which affects their behavior. Smaller bears climb trees to obtain mast, edible reproductive parts such as acorns. Such masts can be very important to the diet of these species, and mast failures may result in long-range movements by bears looking for alternative food sources. Brown bears, along with their powerful digging abilities, sweets too, it's okay. Sloth bears. Some species may raid the nest of wasps and bees for the honey and immature insects, in spite of stinging from the adults. Sun bears use their long tongues to lick up both insects and honey. Fish are an important source of food for some species, and brown bears in particular gather in large numbers at salmon runs. Typically, a bear plunges into the water and seizes a fish with its jaws or front paws. The preferred parts to eat are the brain and eggs. Small burrowing mammals like rodents may be dug out and eaten. I'm addicted to garbage, and it's why I watch Me Do. I'm gonna end the stream right now. I'm gonna end it right now. Is that what you want? Bitch. The brown bear and both species of black bear sometimes take large ungulates such as deer and bovids, mostly the young and weak. That's so mean. These animals may be taken by short ration ambush, though hiding young may be sniffed out and pounced on. The polar bear mainly preys on seals, stalking them from the ice, breaking into their dens. They primarily eat the highly digestible blubber. Large mammalian prey is typically killed with raw strength, including bites and paw swipes. Bears do not display specialized killing methods of felids and canids. Predatory behavior in bears is typically taught to the young by the mother. Bears are prolific scavengers and kleptoparasites, stealing food caches from rodents and carcasses from other predators. For hibernating species, weight gain is important as it provides nourishment for the winter dormancy. A brown bear can eat 1 kilogram or 90 pounds of food and gain 2 to 3 kilograms of fat a day prior to entering its den. Jeez. Bears produce a number of vocal and non-vocal sounds. Tongue clicking, grunting, or chuffing. Many may be in cordial situations, such as between mothers and cubs or courting couples, while moaning, huffing, snorting, and blowing air is made when the individual is distressed. Barking is produced in times of alarm, excitement, or to give away the animal's position. Warning sounds include jaw clicking and lip popping, while teeth chatters, bellows, growls, and roars, and pulsing sounds are made in aggressive encounters. Cubs may squeal, bawl, bleat, or scream when in distress, and make motor-like humming when comfortable. Bears purr. Oh my god. That's so cute. That's so cute. Oh my gosh. I didn't know that baby bears could purr. That's really fucking cute. When do we get to the part about Me Do? So no. Some bears which communicate with visual displays such as standing upright, which exaggerates the individual's size. Chest markings of some species may add to this intimidating display. Staring is an aggressive act, and the facial markings of spectacled bears and giant pandas may help draw attention to the eyes during antagonistic encounters. Individuals may approach each other by stiff-legged walking with the head lowered. Dominance between bears is asserted by making frontal orientation, showing the canine teeth, muzzle twisting, and neck stretching. A subordinate hibernation period and are aroused when doing so. Mortality. Bears do not have many predators. The most important are humans, as they started cultivating crops and increasingly came into conflict with the bears that raided them. Since the invention of firearms, people have been able to kill bears with greater ease. Felids like tigers may also prey on bears, particularly cubs, which may also be threatened by canids. Bears are parasitized by 80 species of parasites, including single-celled protozoans and gastrointestinal worms, and nematodes and flukes in their heart, liver, lungs, and bloodstream. Externally, they have ticks, fleas, and lice. A study of American black bears found 17 species of endoparasite, included the protozoan Sarcocytus, the parasitic worm Diphyllobothrium mansonites, and the nematodes, and others of these were causing pathological symptoms. By contrast, polar bears have few parasites. Many parasitic species need a secondary external terrestrial host, and the polar bear's lifestyle is such that few alternative hosts exist in their environment. The protozoan Toxoplasma gondii has been found in polar bears, and the nematode, I'm not reading that, can be a serious infection and decline in older polar bears. Bears in North America are sometimes infected with morbillivirus, similar to canine distemper. They are susceptible to infectious canine hepatitis, with free-living black bears dying rapidly of encephalitis and hepatitis. Aww. It's sad. Miru has the Komodachi parasite. I do. You have me as a parasite. Relationship with humans. Conservation. In modern times, bears have come under pressure through encroachment on their habitats and illegal trade in bear parts, including the Asian bile bear market. The hunting is now banned and largely replaced by farming bears. The IUCN lists 6 bear species as vulnerable. Even the 2 least concerned species, the brown bear and American black bear, are at risk of extirpation in certain areas. In general, these 2 species inhabit remote areas with little interaction of humans, and the main non-natural causes of mortality are hunting, trapping, and roadkill and depredation. Laws have been passed in many areas of the world to protect bears from habitat destruction. Public perception of bears is often positive, as people identify with bears due to their omnivorous diet, their ability to stand on 2 legs, and their symbolic importance. Support for the bear protection is widespread, at least in more affluent societies. The giant panda has become a worldwide symbol of conservation, unfortunately. The Sichuan giant panda sanctuaries, which are home to about 30% of the wild panda population, gained a UNESCO World Heritage Site designation in 2006. Where bears raid, crop, or attack livestock, they may come into conflict with humans. In poor rural regions, attitudes may be more shaped by the dangers posed by bears and the economic costs they cause to farmers and ranchers. Attacks. Several bear species are dangerous to humans, especially in areas where they have become used to people. Elsewhere, they generally avoid humans. Injuries caused by bears are rare, but are widely reported. Bears may attack humans in response to being startled, in defense of food, younger food, or even for predatory reasons. Deserved, IMO. Bears in captivity have, for centuries, been used for entertainment. They have been trained to dance, were kept for baiting in Europe, from at least the 16th century. There are 5 bear baiting gardens in Southwark. Wait, what is that? Is it like just putting them there for people to hunt them for funsies? Chained bear and 1 or more dogs are first to fight each other. Oh, that's sad. At that time, archaeological remains of these 3 have survived. Across Europe, nomadic Romani bear handlers called Ursari lived by busking their bears. Busking with their bears from the 12th century. That's so weird. Ursari. Bears have been hunted for food, sport, and folk medicine. Their meat is dark and stringy, like a tough cut of beef. delicacy. What the hell? Bear meat should be cooked thoroughly as it can be infected with the parasite Trichina spiralis. Many people of Eastern Asia use bear body parts and secretions, notably their gallbladders and bile, as part of traditional Chinese medicine. More than 12,000 bears are thought to be kept in farms in China, Vietnam, and South Korea for the production of bile. Trade in bear products is prohibited under CITES, but bear bile has been detected in shampoo, wine, and herbal medicines sold in Canada, the United States, and Australia. That's really sad. That's really sad. Don't eat bears. That's so stupid. Why is this disgusting food that you would never eat in a million years is considered a delicacy, actually. No, it's not. It's gross. It's yucky. I would eat a bear if offered. I would eat you. Without being offered, I just would. Bears have been popular subjects in art, literature, folklore, and mythology. The image of Mother Bear was prevalent throughout societies in North America and Eurasia, based on the female's devotion and protection of her cubs. In many Native American cultures, the bear is a symbol of rebirth because of its hibernation and reemergence. A widespread belief among cultures of North America and Northern Asia associated bears with shaman. This may have been based off the solitary nature of both. Bears have thus been thought to predict the future, and a shaman are believed to have been capable of transforming into bears. That's so cool. There's evidence of prehistoric bear worship, though this is disputed by archaeologists. It's possible bear worship existed in early Chinese and Ainu cultures, the prehistoric Finns and Siberian people, and more recently Koreans considered the bear as the spirit of their forefathers. Okay, but they still eat them and use them in shampoo. Is he your ancestor? Are you eating them? Make up your mind. RTL was a Celtic bear goddess. That'd be a cool name for a VTuber then. Evidence of her worship has notably been found at Bearn, itself named for the bear. Her name is derived from the Celtic word for bear, Artos. In ancient Greece, the archaic cult of Artemis in bear form survived into classical times of Brahran, where young Athenian girls passed initiation rite as arctoi, she-bears. Cool. That sounds cool. The constellations of Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, the Great and Little Bears, are named for their supposed resemblance to bears from the time of Ptolemy. The nearby stars in Arctus means guardian of the bear. Oh, Arcturus. As if it were watching over the two constellations. Ursa Major has been associated with the bear for as much as 1,300 years since Paleolithic times in the widespread cosmic hunt myths. Cosmic hunt myths, what are those? Oh, large animal being pursued by hunters. Oh, I see. Yeah, that sounded familiar. These are found on both sides of the Bering Land Bridge, which was lost to sea some 11,000 years ago. Bears are popular in children's stories, including Winnie the Pooh, Paddington Bear, Gentle Ben, the Brown Bear of Norway. An early version of Goldilocks and the Three Bears was published as The Three Bears in 1837 by Robert Southey, many times retold and illustrated in 1918 by Arthur Rackham. The Hanna-Barbera character Yogi Bear has appeared in numerous comic books, animated television shows, and films. The Care Bears began as greeting cards in 1982 and were featured in toys, clothing, and film. Around the world, many children, and some adults, me, have teddy bears, stuffed toys in the form of bears named after the American statesman Theodore Roosevelt, when in 1902 he refused to shoot an American black bear tied to a tree. Bears, like other animals, may symbolize nations. The Russian bear has been a common national personification for Russia initiatives, namely conservation education, wild bear research, wild bear management, and habitat conservation. Specialty organizations for each of the 8 species of the bears worldwide include Vital Ground for the brown bear, Moon Bears for the Asiatic black bear Conservation Coalition for the North American black bear, Polar Bear International for the polar bear, Bornean Sun Bear Conservation Center for the sun bear, Wildlife SOS for the sloth bear, Andean Bear Conservation Project for the Andean bear, Chengdu Research, and a base of giant panda breeding for the giant panda. And that's bears. I have to admit, the little baby pandas are kind of cute. There we go. Then there's all the sources, but you probably don't want me to read all of that. And to our next article. Otter. I love bears too. I do love a bear. You missed the part on reproduction. I'm not reading about bear reproduction, I'm sorry. Otters are carnivorous mammals of the subfamily Lutrinae. The 13 extant otter species are all semi-aquatic. Aquatic otters will feed on available small mammals or birds. Prey dependence leaves otters very vulnerable to prey depletion. Sea otters are hunters of clams, sea urchins, and other shelled creatures. They're notable for their ability to use stones to break open shellfish on their bellies. This skill must be learned by the young. Otters are active hunters, chasing prey in the water or searching the beds of rivers, lakes, or seas. Most species live beside the water, but the river otters usually entering it only to hunt or travel, otherwise spending much of their time on land to prevent their fur becoming waterlogged. Sea otters are considerably more aquatic and live in the ocean for most of their lives. Otters are playful animals and appear to engage in various behaviors for sheer enjoyment, such as making water slides and sliding on them into the water. They may also find and play with small stones. Different species vary in their social structure, some being largely solitary while others live in groups. In a few species, these groups may be fairly large. I love them. You get lots of good otter pictures here. So cute. Can otters get a driver's license? No, I do not think so. I think we're gonna go ahead and end it here, because I have my new YouTube video debuting in about 7 minutes. It will be up on my YouTube channel for everyone to watch, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the link here so you can give it a watch, yes. But thank you guys so much for coming by. I'm gonna put it in the YouTube chat as well. YouTube and Twitch chat. Here. Yes. Thank you guys so much for coming by. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm happy I could watch only for a little bit. Thank you for the tingles. I'm glad you got tingles. I want to see an otter in real life. I've been to an otter cafe in Japan. It was really fun. I guess they have otters at zoos too. You could probably go there. Thank you, yeah. The VOD will be available up on YouTube, so if you miss some of it and you want to watch it, yeah, you should go to Otter Cafe. I've been to 2 now, I think. I really like, they have the Asian small claw otter. I love the Asian small claw otter. They're so cute and silly. I took Soder to the Otter Cafe, and they tried to eat him. They tried to eat him. He like popped a string out of his paw. So they were trying to pull it through and eat him up. It was funny. It was really good. It was fun though. But yeah, I hope you guys can stay and watch the new YouTube